Let's see, what are we doing today on the Cummins work truck, the 99 Ram 2500 Dodge? We're going to take apart the NV4500, pull the back half of it off, and do the 5th gear nut upgrade. Looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. I didn't watch any videos or anything on it. Maybe I should have. Maybe not. I don't tend to work that way. Let's see what's in here. I tend to break it as I go along and then have to fix it twice as much next time. So we've got a new, I think these are called crush washers if I'm not mistaken. And we've got the new 5th gear nut. Look how fancy that is. It's got 2 Allen set screws to keep it from backing off. So let's take a look and see what I think I'm going to be up against. I'm sure there's a way this all has to go. Maybe I should have read up on it. And maybe I can tell when I take the other one apart. I'm sure I'll be able to just mimic what I'm removing. It's fantastic. I've seen this setup before. You've got the little brass slugs. Those drop in the hole first. So this isn't actually mauling up the splined shaft, or the threaded shaft, excuse me. Anywho, let's take it apart. Let's see what we got. Let's see here. I am going to put the truck up on ramps just to give it a little more height. Here's that Diamond Eye a couple hundred miles later. It looks pretty. Just from my own common sense, it looks like we're going to need to pull the drive shaft. Take the 2 straps off the rear universal. Got to pull this mount off for the carrier bearing, and then I should be able to slide the yoke out of the back of the transmission. I'm gonna have to bring a jack in and support the trans, because I got to pull the back of this rear cone off, and somewhere in this mess is supposed to be the 5th gear. Alright, so the drive line is out. Used, what was it on the yoke, an 8mm for the yoke. The bolts here were 13s to get the carrier bearing out. Skipperoo decided to come down and work. Hey buddy, what are you doing today? I don't know. Come down, bring some tools. Where are we? 15 mil. Got the transmission mount. Where it is. This is where it is. It goes like this. So we're gonna pull this plate off. There's 2 bolts here. I suspect they're 18. Oh man, maybe they are 15. No, they gotta be bigger than 15. Listen, I'm just banging you guys around. I'll pull this plate off with these 2 bolts so I can slide the exhaust system free. That's not the muffler. Technically, it's the exhaust system. I was gonna say muffler, and I was like, that's not right. This bracket out, and then I'll start yanking the bolts to pull this tail shaft cone off. I'll bring you back in just a minute. All right, you guys, I'm gonna set you up here in the corner. Let's see. Now pay attention to what I'm doing here. And whatever I do, don't. They had red thread lock on all these. These are 12.10 mil with red thread lock, so I got to go through and wire wheel all these threads. Oh, it moved. It moved! Oh, it moved! There we go. All right. What am I looking at? I got no idea. First time I've ever taken a transmission apart. This is what we got to change out here. I am in neutral, so I'm going to have old Skipperoo there put it in gear, I suppose. I don't have a spanner wrench, so I'm going to hit that with a cold chisel and knock that off. At least it's on there nice and tight. It's promising. Man, I shouldn't even run my fingers across brand new, gears like that, not even knowing, but the gears seem to be nice and formed. Oof, sorry, bad angle. At least the gears are all in good shape. They got nice surfaces.
Except for that one missing. That's alright.
Except the two. No, there's two missing. I think you can have up to 3 missing, right?
In a row.
In a row. Okay, then I gotta be worried. We're all right, man. The transmission 30. So we're gonna try to get this. There's that crush sleeve or crush washer, I think is what it's called. I should probably have looked it up so I don't sound so stupid. But that's what I do. There's no gasket on here. There's no gasket. I have gray Loctite RTV silicone, which is what they used.
That's why it was cranked down to.
Yeah, that's why it had 500 pounds, foot-pounds. And that's why they use red Loctite on this thing. Yeah, there's no gasket. That's okay. Like I said, I've got gray RTV silicone, which is what Cummins recommends. All right, let me grab some tools and let's get a little chippy on that thing and see how it comes out. See if I can break this. Yeah. I cut myself on this freshly banged up steel. Took you out for the daylight here. Good grief. All right.
Should be flat on the backside, right?
Here's the stock 5th gear nut. That's where the factory peened it over. That's why it was built with this lip here. And that's what was keeping it from falling off. I don't know why these were failing, or why people felt the need to sell me a $16 upgrade kit.
Depends who the jackass was
yeah, depends which jackass was liquored up while he was on the assembly line dinging these. And if it was a transmission that was built at 3 o'clock on a Friday, he was already thinking about how he or she was already thinking about how they were going to spend that paycheck. So we'll compare that to the new one. The new one's all pretty and fancy. This one should slide on quite nice. A couple tippy taps on that and that should set it quite right. And then as I talked about, we have our Allen screws. And then we've got our washer. That thing got crushed pretty good. And remember I was telling you, see how it's I don't even know if it's convex. Actually it's concave from this side. But the convex side goes towards the rear of the transmission, and that's what this nut will squish it back on there to hold it in place. So I am going to use thread lock on this. There were no instructions with this. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, but the seat of my pants tell me to put some Kill 'Em All red thread lock in that, because I probably don't want that to come apart, go through all this trouble to have even the aftermarket part blow apart on me. So we're going to get her did. Let me get you back underneath. We'll come back in just a minute. Alright, so we got everything wiped down. I got all the silicone off the casting. I wiped down the shaft. Chingadera there is nice and good. Although we're not going to be peening it. Oh, look at how easy that spins on. Good grief. Now I'm going to use... Hey, what are you doing down there? You guys, I told you to stay out of the way. I asked you to kindly just keep your distance, alright? You're not helping. You're as bad as Cleo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can I get closer? No. This is not the correct spanner wrench. Don't do this at home. This is actually for the lathe. But I figured I'd get it close to this. A couple tippy taps with the hammer to set that washer. It goes over. It's got like a little hump or something there. It's that angle. Let's do it this way. You do it like this. Okay, let's. You guys are in the way, but all for the shot, right? Okay, let's try. Let's try that. Hold on. Okay, go. Stop. Even maul it. That's good. Do another quick reposition, please. All right. That's good. Tap it till it breaks and then back it off a quarter turn. Good as a lock nut. Yeah, that's flattened, completely flattened that washer out. I'm gonna call that good. There's probably some specific torque spec that we're missing, and I'm probably gonna blow the transmission up now. But shift it in neutral, please. Alright, got the back of the transmission done. Cleaned out the inside of the case here. Put a thin bead of gray RTV silicone on there. I took all the bolts and I ran them through a thread chaser to clean them out. I will put a generous dollop of thread lock on there. We just hammered it in place. There it goes. You good on that side? Where's the hammer?
Down,
Fingers?
down.
Watch fingers. There we go. Alright, we got the tailpiece back on, the two pieces to the rear transmission mount. Or I should just say the transmission mount. Everything's tightened to specs. I tightened down this housing nice and snug. And it's time to put the drive shaft back in. So let's see how this goes. I'm gonna check and see if you have a locker. This is a Dana 80. Yep. Both tires. Here, let's see if I can hold one. Oh, you spin it. Wow, that's pretty good. That's got pretty good clutches still left in that posi check. Let's see if I can hold. If I can hold one wheel, and you can get the other. Nope. Nope. That's all right. That's good though. At least we know it's the rear end that's supposed to be in there. All right. So here's what we've got. This is an Allen wrench, which is surprising to me. Oops, sorry. Usually these are kind of 3/8 square, these plugs, but luckily I had it's a 9mm Allen wrench. And just for fun, if I ever sell this thing, save somebody the hassle. The fifth gear's been fixed. Fifth gear fix. To me that would be pretty self-explanatory, but there it is. We're topped off with the Castrol Sintroke or whatever. This Chrysler part number. I went up to the local Napa and picked up a gallon of that and topped her off. So let's spin it around. Let's do the KDP. The fifth gear fix was probably unnecessary, but it was totally necessary in my brain for $15 worth of parts. And I get fresh transmission oil out of it. I mean, I probably would have flushed that transfer kit, the transmission anyway, so I don't even really consider that. Just the cost of doing business. But there it goes. It's fixed. So let's flip her around, fire her up, and let's move on.